San Antonio's first news on this finally Friday edition, a red Friday edition. That's right. We're all wearing our red shirts that one of our listeners sent in for us, and they're very sharp. Oh, by the way, we're streaming live on the YouTube stream. Finally, we got it all worked out. It all worked out. Andrew was busy this morning, but he managed to get it up and running at 6 o'clock. So hello to everybody on the stream. Hopefully you can see our new shirts. They're pretty cool. Look, they're monograms, got our names on them. Yeah. Yeah, very cool.
But I thought I got off TV, so there were no cameras.
See, we were just talking about that off the air, Randy, and I'm with you on that. I'm in radio for a reason.
Yes. And they tell me I have a great face for radio, but I asked the other day, aside from the news, I always wanted to fill in sports, which I got to do a couple of times, and weather. So if you don't mind.
You get your chance in a second here. First, let everybody know that coming up, we're going to go inside Beamer's Wall and get his reaction to the verdict yesterday that surprised me. We'll find out how it surprised Randy. But right now, traffic and weather together.
Your weather today. Thunderstorms in the morning are going to give way to partly cloudy skies here late. High of 92, low of 76. At least that's what the pollster's saying. Tomorrow, chance of a shower or two during the morning. That'll be followed by partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. High of 94, low of 77. Sunday, when my 2-year-old grandson is playing soccer, we're going to have partly cloudy skies. High of 97, low of 78. Temperature here in Stone Oak, 73 degrees on News Radio 1200 WOBI.
Oh, it is a playlist Friday. And, Mother Nature's been in the news the last couple of weeks, so we decided to let Mother Nature send in a playlist.
I did not know she had a playlist.
This is her playlist. Now, a lot of people didn't know she had a playlist, Randy, but this is it.
And is it on iHeartRadio, I assume?
Randy, no. If you're listening on iHeartRadio right now to this show, yes.
So you can go to iHeartRadio and go to Mother's playlist?
No, just go to 1200 WOEI. You can hear little snippets of Mother Nature's playlist. Andrew, are we going to post this later on? Andrew says yes. We'll post Mother Nature's playlist a little bit later on this morning.
Okay.
All right. So, Randy, yesterday in New York City, I was surprised when the verdict came down that fast and it was guilty on all 34 counts.
Yes. I don't know that I was surprised about the all 34 counts, but the fact that it was guilty, because even the Trump campaign had identified what they called our juror, because one of the jurors had body language, according to everybody in the courtroom, that they were nodding, they were listening to the defense and paying more attention. But I also thought that there was going to be somebody hold out, because what do you think of a juror selling a book after this as The Holdout? The man or the woman who saved Donald Trump and the inner workings of the jury.
That would have been awesome.
I would think that there's somebody that would have thought of that. And also, did they come back in? And if they had the Trump juror, what did they say to tell that person to change their mind?
I don't know, but there was a lot of things that kind of puzzled me when they asked for, to go over the testimony of David Pecker and then again Michael Cohen and then wanting the jury instructions again. That was all puzzling to me. I've never been on a jury, so I don't know how to react to that.
I don't know how to react to that either, but I think when they ask about the instructions, that led people to think, well, it's more likely to be guilty. But then again, it also reminds you that the pundits have, and a lot of them were lawyers, have no idea what's going to happen. So when we get into the sentencing phase and what that's going to be like, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And speaking of the asking for the instructions and everything that went on, I had Joe Pags on a little bit earlier, and he had this to say about that.
The judge in his instructions basically told the jurors, you don't have to have a unanimous decision on an individual charge to find him guilty of the charge. And that made my brain hurt, so I looked into it further. And this is unprecedented. Usually, when you're up against charges, the jury has to find you guilty unanimously, all 12 of them, or however many are on the jury, maybe it's 6, but all 12 of them have to find you guilty of that charge. Mershon basically said, if 4 of you find him guilty of this, 4 more find him guilty of that, and 4 more find him guilty of the third thing, you can say that he's guilty. And that's really what happened here on all 34 counts. It was stunning that it happened.
It was very stunning that it happened. And I think it just sets up the appeal right there.
Well, there are a lot of reasons for appeal,
Oh, yeah.
including, I think, what was it? Well, first of all, I was surprised that the Trump campaign came out and said they didn't get the change of venue. I think that's unlikely to make a big difference in the appeal, but the instructions, I think also the Stormy Daniels testimony where
Yep.
I guess some of the people in the courtroom said she spoke so fast that she couldn't stop. And so when they asked her a question and she was talking about the more sexual parts of this, the salacious details, that even the judge was telling her at one time, you don't, stop when they tell you to stop.
Just
or
answer the
object.
question.
And he would
Yes.
sustain the objections
Right.
in that case. So I think there's that. And also then this, everybody agrees it's a novel idea of prosecution because it's the misdemeanor that triggers the hook, or it was triggered by another felony, which could be a state felony or could be any one of these other things. They can apply for a conviction. They have to find that at least one of the 3 things happened, but they don't have to agree unanimously on which it was. It could be falsifying other business records, breaking the Federal Election Campaign Act, in addition to the New York, or submitting false information on a tax return. So those are those 3 that they didn't have to agree on, but they had to
Which
agree.
I just find fascinating. They didn't have to agree on something and find somebody guilty on 34. That just doesn't make any
And
sense to me.
some other judges would not have accepted that case. Some other prosecutors wouldn't. I think that'll be the one that goes to New York, their top appeals court, which, by the way, is the same one that just rejected the Harvey Weinstein
Yes.
verdict and
Yes.
said that was a judicial misconduct.
Judicial misconduct, yes.
That the judge didn't act properly in that case 2 years after it happened.
All right, he is Randy Beamer. I'm Mr. T. Randy's in for Chris Duell. Charity McCurdy's out. Brian Gann is in for her. And coming up next, we want to hear from you via the iHeartRadio app and the TalkBack feature. If you don't have the app, download it. It's free. Once you get it, search 1200 WOAI. You'll see the microphone with the circle in it. Hit it. You got 30 seconds. Just want to know your thoughts on this verdict. I mean, it shocked me. I was very surprised. So I want to hear from the listeners. WOAI News Time, 6:16. All right, let's talk to the people. Hello, peeps. How's everybody doing today? Tracy Bogart, how was the show last night, man? I did not get to get there because of this this whole thing, Chris being out, the verdict. I knew I couldn't go to the show and make it in this morning and be
What
worth the
show?
damn. Saxon and Uriah Heep was last night. Yes.
Dude, you
Yes,
missed
and I
it.
didn't get to go, man.
Scorpions and
No,
Force
Scorpions,
play
I
at
would have
the
gone.
same
I would
time.
have skipped work. I would have been sick today. Trust me on that
You're
one.
a hairband.
Yes, I'm a hairband guy. But I really wanted to go. But yeah, when I knew Chris was going to be out. So I thought my original plan was, okay, I'll sleep yesterday afternoon and get up, go to the show, come home, sleep for a couple hours and come to work. Then this started happening yesterday. And I went, there's no way I could go. So I gave my ticket to a buddy of mine, took his girlfriend with him. So they got to go. I did not.
Well, was it at AT&T Center?
No, it was at Tobin Center.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem, I don't know, it just seems a little
They're older. They're
incongruous.
older now. So, got to
Yes.
understand. Uriah Heep's 50 years. They were celebrating their 50th year.
Right.
Saxon's been around for almost 50 years as well.
Yeah,
so
but
you got
they're
to
playing in a
understand.
place where the symphony plays.
Yeah,
Just,
it's
there's
okay. They played the
wine,
Majestic before. Come on.
Saxon. Well, yeah, but that's a little more
Yeah.
of the people. Wow.
Well, according to Tracy Bogart, Saxon and Uriah Heep were awesome.
Well, you wouldn't think that they're anything else, right?
No,
Okay.
as many times as I've seen Saxon, yes.
Name 3 Saxon hits and
Hits. Okay, so
sing
when you
them.
say hits to who?
Hits to you.
Hits to me. Dallas 1 p.m. I love. Denim and Leather I love.
Well, you mean the song?
The song Denim and Leather.
Okay.
Does this town know how to rock? Those are the hits.
All right.
Those are the hits.
and how
Dallas
they-
1 p.m. is about the Kennedy assassination. And you got to understand, these guys are from England. And it's a very good take on that. So if it's a great song, you would like it because it's really, really, it's kind of heavy. But I'm cool with
I
that.
don't know. Oh, you mean heavy metal?
Yeah.
One of my first memories is of the Kennedy assassination long
Really?
before you were born.
I know. I was born. I was living in Japan at the time.
Yeah, and you remember anything at that point?
I was 7
were-
months old. So
Yeah,
no.
you were in diapers.
No, 8 months old. 8 months
I
old.
was. Well, anyway. So okay, how does that song go?
Which song?
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas 1 p.m. It just tells a story of what
No,
happened
how
that
does
day.
it go?
I'm not singing for you, dude. I
Oh,
don't.
come
Look,
on.
Charlie called me a dick on the air because I wouldn't sing on the air. So I'm not. You want to go ahead and just
Wait,
get it out?
Can you say that? I can't say that.
He did.
Well,
He
that's
did right in the
Charlie
middle of the
Parker.
show, man. So yeah.
Anything.
So no, I'm not going to sing for people. But yeah,
Oh, well, how much would they have to pay for you to sing for people?
man, I don't know if there's enough money out there, Randy, to pay me to sing. I'm not that good of a singer,
I
man.
got like $1.03.
Oh, well, I'm in.
Change. Yeah. All right. How about the lyrics?
It was a horrible day, and the hook is Dallas 1 p.m. That's when it happened, and then it's just the song itself is great.
Okay.
I'll play it for you in a
What's
second.
okay, good.
I'll play it for you in a second. I
that's
can
part
play
of
it.
Mother Nature's playlist.
No,
isn't
no,
it?
I'll play it off the air, Randy.
Okay. So how often are you off the air like this? Talking off the air, I should say.
You mean to people that are watching?
Ooh, wow, that's way close on that camera. Let's see. Yeah, if I go over there, I look better.
Yeah. If you go over there, you're great. You're great.
And I red is not my color.
Oh,
Are you
you're
a
not-
winter? You ever had that happen where they colorized you?
No.
One of the TV stations I worked for 100 years ago, when they actually had money,
Yeah.
they had us all, even the 14-year-old reporters, colorized, like they had.
I've never done that. No.
person.
And I'm not a red guy either, but
Your
it does
skin
look
tone.
good. You got to say,
Well-
red does look good on you.
Well, it shows your guns.
Yeah, it does. It's a big gun. And looks, it's easy to show off the tattoo. So, yeah.
I'm stunned by that. Now, does anyone have a Saxon tattoo?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's many people that have Saxon tattoos.
Who would open for Saxon?
Uriah Heep opened for him last night.
Oh, okay. And they're still around.
That's what I
Uriah
mean.
Heep
Yes.
is
I
long
think there's
before
one
Saxon.
person left in Uriah Heep, I think. I'm not really sure about that, but yeah, they're still around.
That's like some of the other tours
Yeah.
that have.
All right. Hang on, man. Here we go. Just ahead of headlines, traffic and weather together. Coming up, we'll hear from you on the iHeartRadio app and the Talkback feature. What were your thoughts when you heard the verdict? Donald Trump guilty on all 34 counts. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you tracking?
Your Weather Channel 3-day forecast for today. Thunderstorms in the morning. They're going to give way to partly cloudy skies late, high of 92, low of 76. That's today. Tomorrow, chance of a shower or two during the morning, followed by partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, high of 94, low of 77. Basically the same for Sunday. So your whole day of the weekend. Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high of 97, low of 78. It is 78 in Alamo Heights, I'm guessing. And 73 here at Stone Oak. That's your forecast.
Ah, yes. Mother Nature's playlist. All the songs today come from Mother Nature and have something to do with Mother Nature. Rain, wind, sun, storms.
I can't wait till like when you really have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for somebody's playlist.
We've already done it. Well, you've had yours on.
We
I mean, come on.
did. Actually, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel today. How about so who's next?
I don't know yet. We've got some
Father
scheduled.
Time.
We've got scheduled coming up in August for the anniversary of the start of MTV. We're going to do an MTV playlist. That'll be huge. All right, let's go to the people. Let's go to Karen.
Hi, my name is Karen. Just want to say, very disappointed in the United States of America. The only flag I'm flying will be the Texas flag.
Wow. See, people are taking. I mean, it's a travesty to a lot of people. It really is.
I think we have to wonder what's going to happen on July 4th. A lot of people, I think, have been worried about, November and Christmas the last few years, getting together with the uncles that are going to get drunk and fight. And everybody getting out their flags on July 4th, sitting around with some of the same family members they may or may not agree with. And you have Trump flags and you have, other flags. What is that going to do to July 4th? Because what is it, July 11th?
July 11th, 1 week
Sentencing.
later, yes.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people that are looking forward to the Olympics. So they can just sit, whether it's together or not, and they can watch something, maybe unify the country, and then we have to get back to the rest of it.
Back to the rest of it. All right, that is Randy Beamer in for Chris Duell. Charity McCurdy's out. Brian Gann's in for her. He's got the latest coming up at the bottom of the hour. WOAI News Time, 6:26. Hello, Belle. How are you? Belle Mendoza is checking in. Belle, good luck on your upcoming surgery. And yes, you can transfer those tickets to somebody else if you cannot make it.
Is this an old girlfriend?
No, she's one of our loyal listeners, and she's going to have some surgery. And
I
we
hope
just
you
wish
feel
her.
better.
We wish her well.
I don't want to ask what surgery. But
I will tell you later.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to tell you. Just
Because I've had a few. You don't want to HIPAA. You
yeah,
violate
exactly,
HIPAA.
exactly. I'll violate it off the air. I have no problem with that.
Oh, okay.
I've had a few surgeries in my life. Trust me, I know.
Oh, yeah, I've had. I had like 4 knee surgeries. I'm
Oh
on
my God.
4th knee because a couple of them didn't take. And Belle, go ahead and get some of the
good drugs.
The good drugs because
Yes.
I wrote down the funniest stuff I've ever.
Oh, sure,
And
definitely.
I don't remember any of it
Well, see,
afterwards.
and to me, I've had several surgeries. I have Crohn's disease, and it's caused me to have. I had cancer. I had kidney cancer.
wow.
I had cancer. One of my kidneys had cancer on it. So they, instead of having to do chemo and everything, they just took the kidney out, and
And
they
it
let
worked?
me out the next day. Okay, they said I could leave the next day. Well, I did, and I got home. And here's what I realized when I got home: they give you better drugs when you're in the hospital than what they send you home with.
Yes.
Because I thought, oh, this is great. I have no problem, man. When I got home, holy crap, man. I realized why I should have stayed one more day at least in the hospital.
How long did it take you to recover?
11 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well,
See,
they cut me right here, though, dude.
That's one thing that you don't have to do rehab for. Do you? You don't have like.
I had to
do you?
walk a lot because getting up, standing up, because you don't realize what muscles you pull right here. And they had to cut through the muscles to get to the kidney. What muscles you use just standing up. And so I had to do a lot of walking.
Oh, okay.
So I did a lot of walking and, every day, walk. That was my rehab.
And any other surgeries that you've had?
Oh, God, yes.
we can talk about.
I've had, I could show you pictures of what they took out one time.
I don't know if I want to see that. But show some of the people out there.
I seriously, man, I screwed up because I was under the influence and I sent them to Brian. And then I thought, maybe I shouldn't have sent him those.
Were they graphic?
Oh, it depends.
I mean, it's not like sexting
No,
or anything
no,
like that.
it's-
Okay.
This is what they took out of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Show that to the people.
No, I don't want to gross them out.
That's a whole.
It's 30 inches of, or 30 centimeters of my intestine.
Of your intestines.
Yeah, 30 centimeter of my intestine. Yeah, because I had a blockage. What happens when you have Crohn's disease, sometimes you can't process something.
Right.
And I have pain every day. Okay, I'm always in pain. I live in pain. But it got really, really bad. And stupid me, I blew it off, wouldn't go to the hospital, and finally it got so bad. I looked at my wife. I said, hey, we need to go to the hospital.
Did you, how long ago was it diagnosed before you got this done?
The Crohn's?
Yeah.
When I got my first colonoscopy when I was 40.
That's early.
Well, my grandmother died of colon cancer, so
Oh,
it ran to
I
my
see.
family. So I didn't want to go. I did not want to
Right.
go because I thought for sure they were going to find something. And so you go in, you've had a colonoscopy,
I've
right?
had that,
Okay,
yes.
so at the end of it, while I'm waiting to go in, they're waking people up. Hey, what day is it? Okay, great. You can get up and get dressed. And I thought, okay. So when they wheeled me out, they woke me up. Are you okay? Are you okay? And I said, yeah. And okay, the doctor wants to talk to you. I went, oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
Crap. So then I go in and he tells me I have Crohn's disease. And I'm sitting there looking. He goes, okay, I'll have you back in when you're not under the influence of the anesthesia.
Right.
So we get in the car. First thing I do is Google what the hell Crohn's disease is. And I'm like, oh my God.
So he didn't explain to you. And do they
Because I
find-
was under
is
the
it
influence.
polyps or anything like that?
No. It's an incurable disease. There's no cure for it, right?
Okay.
As a matter of fact, yesterday was every 8 weeks I have to go in for an infusion. And I sit there for 30 minutes and they shoot the stuff into me. So there's no cure for it, but this controls it. What happens is I have the form of Crohn's disease that I don't really have a lot of stomach issues. My thing is when I have an episode, it feels like automatically all of a sudden I have the flu. I mean, I get run down, I feel like crap, just can't get any motivation. But since I started taking this Entyvio every 8 weeks, I don't have that problem.
Wait, what is that again?
Entyvio. You see the commercial?
That's one of the commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go and sit in a recliner just like the one I have at my house. It's unbelievable. The exact same recliner I have at my house. They have this room full of recliners.
Uh-huh.
And I go sit in there for these two.
So it's like getting a blood transfusion, but
it's
not
the opposite.
that.
It's going in instead of coming out.
What does that do to your blood? What is it for?
It's a medicine is what it is.
Right.
And it gets into your
Into
system.
your gut?
Yeah. And you only have to do it every 8 weeks. See, I was having to do Humira, which I think gave me the cancer. I had to do the Humira. I'd have to shoot myself with a pin. And, of course, me and my gastro doctor went round and round about that because my kidney doctor said that's what gave me the cancer. When I told it to my doctor, because I quit taking the Humira, it was like a year later. He goes, why did you take it? I said, dude, it gave me cancer. Well, there's no proof. I said, well, there's no proof it didn't.
Right.
And he goes, well, you just keep taking it. And if something happens, we can do a partial nephrectomy. I said, dude, that's the most ridiculous thing anybody's ever told me. That ain't going to happen.
Nephrectomy. That sounds like death.
That's when they take your kidney. That's when they take a partial.
Now, so you have
I have one kidney,
one kidney.
but it's healthy.
Nobody donated?
No, I don't
Isn't
need
that
to.
one where you can get a
I don't need it.
or
You
a
can live
partial?
with one kidney. It's as long as your kidney's good, you're
Doesn't
fine.
that, but what does your kidney do? Doesn't it filter out?
It filters out. Yeah. See, when I was going to go ahead because my left kidney is one they took out, and so before I had my surgery, because it was like 10 weeks before they actually scheduled me to come get my surgery.
Wow.
I would say, well, I'm going to wear out the bad kidney, so I'll just drink left-handed. I told my wife, I'll just drink beer left-handed because I'll get that kidney, because I'm going to use it until it goes. And she didn't think that was funny. My doctor thought it was hilarious, but
Yeah.
And so And-
So did that change any particular habits that
Nope.
you have?
Nope.
You were still drinking beer on the beach in South Pocket.
yeah. No, I'm fine.
And they didn't tell you,
No, I can live a normal life. You don't really need two. That's you don't really need two. As long as you have one good one,
right?
that's the key. You got to have a good one though. So yeah,
Did
Oh,
that
yeah.
affect anything else
Nope.
in your life?
Nope.
Nothing.
not at all.
That's so odd.
It is odd. I didn't even know I had it.
And now the cancer stuff is
It was stage 3 clear cell carcinoma, and it was as big as my kidney. There was a tumor as big as my kidney on the side
in
of my
the
kidney.
same area.
On my kidney.
Oh, it was
my-
on the kidney.
On my kidney. It was as big as my kidney on my kidney.
That sounds like a separate disease.
Well, it was interesting because I went to the hospital for that blockage that I had because the pain was so bad that I couldn't take it. I'm pretty good tolerance of pain.
Right.
And they gave me a CT scan, and the guy came in and says, okay, there is a blockage, and you got that tumor on your kidney. I said, what? He goes, what, you didn't know? And I said, no, I didn't know that. And so that's when they had to put me in an ambulance in Floresville and take me all the way to the Methodist Hospital in an ambulance. And they wouldn't turn the lights on for me, and they wouldn't speed. And
This sounds like a reality show.
top of the RV, going into the top. Yes, I have it. Yeah. So yeah, it's just bizarre. Just bizarre. I look like I've been in a knife fight, man. If you look
Wow.
if you look at me here, man, I've got scars everywhere.
See, that's what I had above my lip for a while.
Oh yeah.
I had a basal cell,
Oh okay.
but it took longer to take out. And so there was a guy who was at the station, didn't know me well. And I guess he had asked other people about, hey, what's the deal with his face?
Yeah.
So somebody else said, well,
Hey,
don't
what's the
ask
deal
him
with his
about it
face,
'cause
man?
he has a cleft palate.
What's the deal with his face?
And so they were like, oh, what's wrong with him? Because he didn't understand cleft palate.
Yeah.
And he thought that was
Yeah. Well, you know, a lot of
whatever it
people
meant.
don't, to be honest with you.
And so they were treating me differently for a while, and I couldn't figure it out. And then he thinks you got it.
Well, what's funny?
I tell him I killed a guy. In
Well,
a
what's
knife
funny
fight.
is when they sent me home, after my kidney, after the first night of me being miserably in pain, I was bored one day. I watched the entire Ozarks series. I'd never seen it before. And I had nothing to do, so I started watching episodes. Well, I'm bored and I'm reading the pamphlet they send you home with the pain medicine, and it says alcohol may intensify reactions.
So you
And I said, well, you know what? Obviously, they don't know. So I did a controlled experiment, made one drink, took my pill, drank my drink.
it was a hurricane.
It was one drink of a little vodka and tonic. I was being, safe. And it was the best nap I've ever had in my life, man. It was awesome.
So you immediately
No, I didn't do that anymore.
you didn't invest in Jack Daniels.
No, I lost a whole day doing that. But I did. I watched the entire Ozark series while I was out recovering. Did you ever see the Ozarks?
Yeah. I had been to the Ozarks.
No,
I
but
didn't
you ever
watch
see the series? Oh, it's fantastic, man.
And that's kind of a dark story.
At times, but it was good. Jason
Well, no.
Bateman.
You like true crime.
Yeah, and this was not true crime, but it was.
Crime.
He's a money launderer, so to speak, for the. He was money laundering for a drug cartel, and
Which happens in the Ozarks. I
well,
understand.
he ends up in the Ozarks. It's kind of a funny story how he ends up there, but he goes there and realizes there's a lot of ways to wash cash in the Ozarks.
bass fishing.
Yeah, no, there was all kinds of things, but it's very, very, very well
Very
done.
cool.
Very well
I heard
done.
it is. I just don't. What is
But
that
I watch
on?
it's on Netflix.
Hulu?
Yeah.
sorry.
And I watched the entire thing, man, the entire series. But I was
How
out,
long did it take you?
about 4 weeks. I didn't watch every. I didn't watch.
Is that a couple seasons?
No, it's like 4 seasons. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching.
Slacker.
Cindy would leave. My wife would leave in the morning, and I'd be on the couch, and I'd get up and go do my walk, because it was cool. And I'd come back, and I'd sit on the couch. My wife would leave, man, and I would be back from my walk. She would go to work, and she'd come back, and I'd be in the same damn place that I was when she left, watching Ozark. So yeah, it was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like being that and having your ankle monitor on.
Kinda.
Home.
And see, and when I had my surgery, I got it done on Friday the 13th because they took. No, look, man, I wanted it out of me, and it took forever because I had to go to the transplant hospital, Methodist transplant. And so when they called me, they said, "Okay, we've got a date open. It's Friday the 13th. Is that going to be a problem?" I said, "Look, I don't care if you stand under a ladder over broken mirrors. I don't care. Just get this damn thing out of me, And they said, "Okay." And so
I felt like that with my knee.
and it got me in and out like that because a lot of people backed out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I was actually supposed to be second in line for surgery, but the lady that was in front of me decided to blow it off because of Friday the 13th, so I got in faster. But man, have you ever been to that transplant hospital?
I don't.
Beautiful
think so.
place, man. That's where Sean Elliott got his.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, today's the anniversary of the Memorial
It
Day
is-
miracle,
the Memorial Day. Oh wait, but it's not Memorial Day.
but it's May 31st. It was Memorial Day back then. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, that will be coming up in our. Those
I think
were the
they
days.
Don Harris asked Sean about that the other day, and I saw it on the news.
Yeah, he had it as a different day. He had it on Memorial Day, but that's not the actual anniversary. The anniversary is today.
Those TV people. We don't
I know.
days.
I know. All right, we're going to talk more about Donald Trump, guilty on all counts. He'll make his speech this morning at 10 a.m. All right, I'm glad you guys got to listen to our medical history there.
Yeah, I think in the next, we're going to talk about the next surgery. Do you have any other surgeries
I've
planned?
had a
Does it
bunch. No,
sound
no,
like-
I have
do you
no
have any
more.
more?
Oh, I've got one for you, man. When I was single, I lived with two of my best friends. We all lived in a big apartment together, and one of my buddies had this bad habit of toothpicks, and he'd just lay them down all over the house, and it used to drive us crazy. Well, I got up to our remote went out. I got up to change the channel. I was barefoot, and I stepped on a toothpick, and it went into my foot, right? And so we pulled out what we thought was all of it, man, but it still hurt. So I went to the hospital. They did an X-ray. They looked. They cut it open. They dug around, looked in there, couldn't find it. Said, "You must have got it all right." 7 years later, I have this big lump on the top of my foot, and it was starting to hurt. So I go back to the hospital. This one was at KZEP. They sent me to a podiatrist, right? Don't ever go to a podiatrist. Sorry if anybody out there is a podiatrist. Don't ever go to a podiatrist. They're not really doctors.
Why?
They suck. She
Okay.
couldn't figure out what it was. So
oh.
they told me to come in. They said it's a ganglion cyst. All right.
The gang, I saw them play in Austin.
Yeah,
the ganglion
good band.
cyst.
Good band. So I go in to get the surgery done. They said it's a day surgery, inpatient, come in, you're out by noon, right?
Mhm.
I wake up, I'm in a hospital room. I'm like, what the hell is going on? My wife is there. So what's going on? Okay, the doctor's coming in. She comes in, she goes, man, we cut into your foot and this thing came shooting out. I said, oh, a toothpick. She goes, you knew it, you had it. I said, yeah, but I thought it was the other foot. I ended up in a podiatry journal for carrying that thing around for 7 years. It way out to
Wow,
where
it's like
it
a bullet in another knife
wanted
fight.
to come out. Wanted to come out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did they find that, even if you didn't know? Did they just open up your foot and
They
say,
cut I have a scar on my foot that's like, because I had a hole, you could see all the way through to the bottom of my foot almost. It was bizarre.
how about on the other foot? Where
No,
you
that
thought
was fine. I didn't know. I couldn't remember which foot I'd stepped on it on.
Sounds like it needed another surgery.
It was bizarre.
I'm just saying.
And Bell wants to know, how about that catheter? Do you have to have surgery to get that in?
Well,
Here
not
we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. San Antonio's first news. I'm Mr. T. He's Randy Beamer in for Chris Duell. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. Andrew Zimmel and EJ fly the Millennium Falcon. And Andrew's also directing the live stream on the YouTube. So if you want to check us out, just go to YouTube, search 1200 WOEI, and you can see Randy up close and personal.
Don't really. I was supposed to be off TV. Got that face for radio.
It
but
doesn't work like that,
You
Randy.
can't.
I just don't know why it doesn't work like that. All right. So yesterday, after the second day of deliberations, the jury in the criminal case against former President Donald Trump reached a verdict. The result of the 9.5 hours of deliberation over 2 days, verdicts of guilty on all 34 of the felony counts Trump was charged with. When I heard that he was guilty of all 34 charges, I just couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it today.
Well, again, I could believe it's all or nothing on that. But everybody's talking about the sentencing now and whether it's going to go ahead and exactly when it is, because it's July 11th. But he also has to go before that, I understand, to the probation department because they have the pre-sentencing memoranda
Right.
from both the prosecutors and the defense team. And a lot of the pundits say that Alvin Bragg, prosecutor, the DA, is going to ask for some jail time. And they ask him that immediately at the end of his press
sure.
conference. And I thought that he had to look like, oh crap, now it's time for, and because I think they weren't ready for
No.
the verdict to come back
No.
that fast. I think they were ready for a hung jury. I don't think that he's going to ask for that because in New York, especially, they are looking at not incarcerating as many
Right.
people,
Right.
especially for a white collar crime, especially for a 77-year-old guy. So, and I think also if you think it's rigged and it's the whole thing to get him,
Off the
off
campaign trail.
I think it's one of those things where be careful what you wish for. If
Yes.
you're a Democrat, and I don't think there are people on the streets that are exultant about this who are not Trump fans at all, and you can understand that. But the Democratic Party has to remember that he has raised so much money off since the first indictments came out that this is only going to energize the base. And Democrats, their best, I think, issue right now is abortion, and that's so back burner. Maybe by August, September, it won't be. But if they're only talking about that, it's going to be interesting. And since the pundits have been wrong,
Yes.
who knows?
Exactly. Who does know? And you mentioned his pundit or his base. His website crashed from donations. Somebody coming in last night that they couldn't keep
Yeah,
up
that's
with.
not a good sign for
the Democrats at all. And the other thing is now you have fired Donald Trump up and he gets to hit the campaign trail. And I don't know if you've noticed it about him, but when he hits the campaign trail, he's pretty effective. And now he's got ammunition to where he's got a mission now.
And
It's not like he did before, but now he's very focused.
I don't know if I believe the polls about that were done before about if he's convicted, what is it? 20% of the people are less likely to vote
Yeah, I don't
for him,
believe that either.
and that 4% would be the undecided. I don't think that's the case because some people are looking at this going, I don't even want to hear more about this.
Right.
So I am going to peel away from even paying attention.
Well, I wonder what it does to those independent voters, the ones that, because right now I think the undecided independents, people that do, those are the ones that are going to decide this election.
Right.
And I wonder if this will have any effect on them. It doesn't seem like it will, though.
It seems like there's not really that many undecided,
No,
although they call
you
them
would think,
low information voters, the Gen Z. And I hate to say it, bring that up.
No, we
the
don't need
kids
to
in
do
the
that.
Booth. But man, they are angry. But if those low information voters that haven't been paying attention, again, they want to pay less attention to this until later.
I don't see how you can. If you live in this country, this is history. We're living right in the middle of it.
You
How
can
can
also tune it out.
well, you can play ostrich and put your head in the sand and act like it doesn't happen?
Well,
or it
it's
didn't
good
happen?
for news outlets.
Sure.
Especially there was a pundit last night about a financial pundit about the media, and she was saying, well, Fox News did very well during the trial, especially at night, but the others didn't do so well at night, though they did during the day. It's like the OJ trial. It was great for all the networks.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, coming up next, Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days on this very special day. He's got a anniversary he's going to share with you coming up. WOAI News Time 6:45. Hey, we're back. Yeah, what is a newspaper, Randy? When's the last time you held a newspaper?
Actually, just a couple of last week.
Mine would have been yesterday.
I mean, I subscribed.
Yesterday would have been for me, but Wilson County News, where I live, comes in my mailbox
County
once a
News.
week.
I
Yeah.
used to get all those. Okay, I can tell you the Valley Leader News
Yep.
is that Enterprise and Eagle Pass, the Fredericksburg Standard Radio Post, which actually used to be 3 separate papers.
Right.
And then it was the Radio Post merged, but the Standard and the Radio Post were across the street. You used to get the Seguin, what was that, Gazette?
There's a Gazette, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to get all those. I love those.
Oh, yeah. Look,
because you can tell a lot about them.
What I love about the Wilson County News is we still get the police blotter. I love that stuff, man. I
did a story in the police blotter when the Express News and the Light had police blotter reporters stationed at the police station, and they would, try to get more creative.
Right.
And that was a day, I want to tell you, when there was police blotter news. But you tell the kids about that now.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that what Nancy Grace does? Really?
Yeah, kind of. That's what it is.
In her crime news.
Crime alert. You mean her?
Yes. Wait, how come you can't sing, but you can do Nancy Grace?
Oh, I could. Well, I don't know about doing Nancy Grace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, is this an adult only?
Yes,
stream?
on stream. Yes, you can do adult.
And again,
only.
how do you get to this stream?
Go to youtube.com, search 1200 WOAI.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see it.
But it's not on the iHeartRadio app.
No, this is on YouTube. We don't own YouTube yet. We haven't bought YouTube yet.
Well, you sold the TV station.
I know. Well, that's so we could buy YouTube.
Oh, was that why?
I don't know.
I'm
Actually
sure.
what it was is they were selling the company.
Yes.
And when
Bain Capital.
yeah, when Mitt Romney and his folks came in and took us over.
Was he on that?
Yeah. He was still part of it when they bought us.
He owned Channel 4.
Yeah, for briefly. He doesn't own.
Yeah,
he's
they flipped
out of Bain now. He's out of Bain Capital now. But when they bought us, when they bought Clear Channel, he was still involved. Hey, it was great for me. I was 100% Clear Channel stock in my 401k. I did.
Yeah, that's
I did
true.
real well, man.
Because I remember
they had to buy us out. They had to buy us out.
There was a certain
Yeah.
radio guy that had a Jaguar.
Oh yeah.
His
Yeah.
Clear Channel stock was
Well, see, and my wife
Killer.
kept telling me, Enron. I said, no, we're completely different. We're completely, so I would never diversify. And against her wishes, I kept it 100% Clear Channel stock. And when they bought us, she was thanking God that I kept it at 100%
so
Clear
that's
Channel
why
stock.
you're going down to South Padre
And
and
staying in our condo.
sailing the yacht.
Yeah, staying in our condo, all that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So who was the company that changed it to iHeartRadio?
That would have been Bain.
It was Bain,
Yes.
which is I think worked out well.
Oh, it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
We are the worldwide leader in podcasting. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know.
We do. We are the worldwide leader.
And so YouTube.
Yeah, we'll buy
You're
it.
gonna buy it or make your own.
Well, chances are we'll make our iHeart tube.
That doesn't sound good.
No,
I don't know. So you have the big pension? Do they have pensions now?
no, 401k.
I was gonna say
That's
nobody.
it, 401k. But see, I've been here for 29 years, so I've been in 401k for 27 of those
yeah,
29.
but if you were like in
If I was in a pension, yes, I
profit-
would be a lot better. Yes.
yeah, or
yes.
profit sharing.
If I would have still stayed Clear Channel and we were here at 29 years later, I would already be retired. There's no
Wow.
doubt about that.
I don't know because the TV revenue.
Yeah, but ours is
profit
not.
sharing.
Well, that's true.
I had some years ago because I worked at a number of different stations across the country. And one of the big, huge companies then, which has since split, I had like 8 shares of stock
Okay.
still.
Yeah.
And it's like that.
Well, I got to turn the mics off real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Weather Channel 3-day forecast today. We have thunderstorms in the morning, especially to the north and east of us. They're going to give way to partly cloudy skies late, high of 92, low of 76. Tomorrow, if you look at the map that I'm holding up right now, you have a chance of a shower or two during the morning. That will be followed by partly cloudy skies in the afternoon as well. High 94, low 77 tomorrow, Sunday. Partly cloudy skies, high of 97, low of 78, 73 here in Stone Oak on the north side. I wanted to do sports, I guess, back in the day. So
You should have.
it's not really the same for doing weather.
And just to let you know, WOAI news time 6:55.
I forgot.
Oh, it is a playlist Friday. We do this each and every Friday. We all submit a playlist. Randy's done his. I've done mine. EJ's done his. Andrew's done his. Charity's done hers. Chris has done his. Charlie's done his. But now today is Mother Nature's playlist. She's been in the news last couple of weeks. So we
How-
decided to get Mother Nature to give us a playlist.
And you got a hold of her directly?
Andrew got a hold of her because Andrew knows how to get to Mother Nature. So
well,
he did
he's
it.
producer par
Yes.
excellence.
Yeah, so
He knows
he got
everybody.
he got a hold of Mother Nature and had her submit a playlist. So all morning long, you hear songs dealing with nature, Mother Nature to be specific. All right, let's go to the people. We're asking you on the iHeartRadio app, how did you feel when you found out about the verdict? I was stunned. I was shocked. I had three words to say, Randy. I said, wow, wow, wow. It blew me away.
You need to work on that vocabulary.
I know. So let's go to the people. Here's the first one.
This verdict is frightening because this is not a verdict against Trump. This is a verdict against all of us. If they can do this to a former president, they can most certainly do this to anyone they please for any reason they please, and simply because you are not on their side.
Wow. I mean, people are upset, and I think they have a right to be upset. This is some scary stuff going on.
I think it's going to be a Rorschach test. You have,
Really?
although it's a lot more emotion on the Trump side
Sure.
than the other side, except for what you see on TV, because they don't think, TV and radio and whatever, maybe not radio as much, but they tend to emphasize the most outrageous, the most angry, the best TV, the best emotion. And so you're going to see a lot more people that are emotional about it.
All right, let's go up to New Braunfels.
Yes, this is Frank, a.k.a. Rascal from New Braunfels. Anybody with the intelligence of a cricket can see that the Democratic Party is playing a game with Trump. The judge is going to put him under house arrest, which is not going to let him go to the Republican National Convention, and which will not let him campaign anymore. This is what's going to happen. I'm not a lawyer, but I do
play one on the radio.
I think that's personally unlikely because
What, the house
judge,
arrest?
If you buy into the theory that his daughter is raising money for
Mhm.
the Democratic Party, I don't think the Democratic Party wants him to be off the campaign trail under house arrest because it plays into his
It does.
appeal to the base. So I think there's something called conditional discharge.
Which, yes, I can see
which
that happen.
Doesn't
Yes.
sound good for any.
No, it doesn't. It does, no.
Conditional discharge, but I think that's as likely as anything else. Maybe public service, maybe a fine.
Well, but yeah, that would work too. But if they have him under house arrest, he could show up at the RNC via Zoom or something on on a television.
Yeah, but it's still going to play too. They're already selling merchandise, Trump merch, free Trump, all that kind of stuff.
I know, and that's just going to raise more money for Donald Trump. I think this is backfiring for the Democrats. Well, it is Friday, so every Friday, Jenny James from Q1019 gives us our entertainment report. Here she is.
Disney's Frozen is still at the Majestic Theater through Sunday. If you didn't get enough of him Wednesday night, Justin Timberlake's tour is at the Moody Center in Austin tonight and tomorrow night. The Bud Light Riverwalk Pride Parade is on Saturday. San Antonio Pets Alive is waiving adoption fees for their dogs and puppies this weekend. It's only at the Medical Care and Adoption Center location on Marbach Road. Hyundai is holding a free anti-theft clinic in collaboration with the San Antonio Police Department, where Hyundai owners can get anti-theft software added to their vehicles at no cost. It goes on 8 to 6 today and tomorrow, and 8 to 2 on Sunday at Gustafson Stadium. Today is the last day to register for the 2024 preschool card at SeaWorld. This is a special program where kids 5 and under can enjoy free unlimited admission to SeaWorld San Antonio all year. Sign up now. And the Museum has a new interactive exhibit called Dogs, a Science Tale that kicks off this weekend. I'm Jenny James from Q1019 for News Radio 1200 WOAI.
All right, we're back, folks. Sorry. Morning, Travis. Morning, Eric. Morning, Tommy. Morning, Tony. Morning, Tim. Morning, all of you. Jacob as well. Travis, I already said hi to
I
you.
see Travis.
Tracy Bogert.
I see. I don't have the names up here, but hi to everybody.
You have the YouTube open?
I'm sorry?
You have YouTube open?
I do not.
Well, that's probably why you can't see their
This is
names.
because my grandkids haven't set up. How do I get to this?
You just go to YouTube.
Um,
Hello, M1A1 Abraham.
I'm going there.
Echo 5 Hotel. I know you're in here too. Good morning.
Google Chrome.
Oh, she's not there? Try calling the news desk again. 5800. Try that one.
Nope, because Skype.
It-
Okay, so where am I?
Okay.
I did it yesterday. Oh, it's down here. Well, I thought I went to Google Chrome and it went. Thank you. This is like going to every engineer at every station because they just come over, they touch it, and they fix it.
Wow.
Is there adware on here? My grandson is fixing this. I want to thank him. Oh, no.
That is us.
And there is a delay on this.
A little bit. Just a little bit. But we're back, folks. I fixed it for Randy so he can see you guys.
Wait, for product placement.
Yeah, make sure you do that. So what was on this week's show, by the way?
We had Eric Walsh, who was talking about the fire union contract because we had the
Yeah.
fire union president
cool.
on a couple of weeks ago. So we make sure we have both sides. He was on talking about the Andy Segovia whole thing.
Okay.
And are we on?
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Then we had one of the people talking, one of the reporters, Tracy Idell Hamilton, talking about it sounds a little wonky, but Prosper West, it used to be the West Side Development
Oh, yeah.
Corporation.
Yeah.
Sage, San Antonio growth on the east side, and there's another one south side. It used to be the chamber. Anyway, they used to get money from the city. The city actually allocated money to them this year, but because of an audit, the city is holding up the money. Anyway, it's taxpayer money that they're talking about.
We got it.
No, what is this? I didn't
We were trying to
realize.
get somebody from Fox News Radio
Oh, okay.
on.
I thought you were doing Omaha.
Yeah, no, we were trying to
Bye.
get somebody from Fox News Radio, and let's just say that we haven't contacted them in about a year or so, maybe a couple years, and so they're not as giving as they used to be.
Really?
So he's having a hard time getting a hold of somebody. So I just don't forget it. We
Well, it's
don't
a
need it.
busy day.
Yeah, extremely. Well, he's been trying since last night. So
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
They just don't like you.
they don't like me at all.
No, I think.
No, they really don't.
Yeah. Well, if Chris Dula was here,
Yeah.
he'd have President Trump on, Biden,
Oh, sure.
everybody.
Yeah, because everybody's hanging with Chris right
Stormy Daniels. I know that. Well, I know where he is right now, and we
now.
can't.
I know where he'll
say.
be Monday and Tuesday because I will see him Monday. The viewing is Monday. His
Oh,
mom.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I will see him Monday. I don't know about Tuesday though. I don't do well at Fort Sam. My dad's out there, and those
Yeah.
funerals just tear me
Well,
up,
is
man.
it that it's not the burial
Tuesday.
yet?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Because
fast.
because it's like my dad. Okay, it took forever for my dad, but now that he's there, my mom will go quick because they'll just put her on the other side.
Oh,
Yeah, what happens is the spouse goes on the other
Right.
side of so that'll be quick since his dad was already out there.
right.
That makes
But
it faster.
the delay is finding a place.
No, the delay is getting one, getting everything situated to begin with to get your spot.
Right.
And then, all to get the.
But I thought it was
head-
everybody out there that they had this long wait list
No.
because they need the people to get.
Well, no, because Chris, I said the same thing. I said, Ben, that was quick. And he goes, yeah, it's because it's already there.
Now, do they have the same honors? I was out at Jesse Trevino's
That I don't
funeral
know.
with the
I don't think they do because
with
they
the
didn't.
buglers and the
No, and
the
not unless they
guns.
were in the service. And that's my understanding. I don't know
So
that
that
for a
may
fact.
be one reason as well why it's faster.
Probably. Because I know that tore me up when my dad. I mean, that was hard. That was hard.
Yeah.
When they fold that flag up, that is the most
Oh.
amazing thing. I mean, seriously, I couldn't stop, man. It was like, holy crap, man. And I was pretty good, not getting too emotional, because we all knew it was coming, and it was better because he wasn't suffering anymore. But when they did that, man, I lost it.
And I've covered any number of funerals. Every time they fold the flag,
Oh,
and
it's
they give it
just-
to somebody.
It's so
sad.
it's honorable though, and it's just
Yes.
moving, man.
And it's one of those that they always show on TV.
Yes.
And one of the funerals or the burials I was at, they, wow, look at that shooter's
I
car
know.
on camera.
Just drives me nuts.
Say what?
I don't know. You say something?
He said something about talkback.
I'm sorry. Come in here. Didn't have my headphones on. I can't hear him.
Oh.
Which one? Oh, cool.
I don't know. Rascal was.
Rascal was pretty
If
good.
you got
man.
a name Rascal, you
I know.
know.
AKA Rascal.
Okay. What is that? I thought you had to give your name, your phone
No.
number, your address.
I can get everything.
Social security.
It's all there.
It is.
Oh yeah, I can get it. Trust me, because we've given away stuff, and I have to go find them.
Oh,
That's how I find them
you give away stuff.
on the
What are you giving
talkbacks.
away for? What
We
did they
gave
get?
away Barry Manilow tickets, George Thorogood
So
tickets.
the people watching on YouTube are saying, "Well, wait, I'm watching on YouTube.
Yeah, but they can still do it. They can still do it. We get people on YouTube that hit up our iHeartRadio app. They're very flexible and they can do things. Multitasking is
What
what,
do
they
they
call
have
it.
to do to get something? They have to be like.
They have to entertain us, is what that is.
I would
See,
think so.
we'll give them a topic and then we'll narrow it down to 3 of the best ones, and then we'll vote.
Oh, you vote.
Yeah, we vote amongst ourselves
There's
to
a
see who wins.
democracy
Yes,
there.
damn right.
I did not.
All
know
right,
that.
ladies and gentlemen, coming up. Wait till you hear this. And you got to do you got to do weather again.
Oh, okay. I'll
Don't
try to
forget.
do it different.
Don't forget. And if you can remember, WOAI news time is that should
I
be your
will
out
remember
cue.
that.
Don't let Terry get after me for not telling you that, man. Come on. I don't need to deal with
Yes.
Terry today.
They have to do that. We used to do that. Well, now they don't do on the radio in the middle. Well, you do, but as we take a look at the,
Oh yeah.
Tim's weather.
Yes. Yeah, no, we don't do that. Because it doesn't really go over that well on the radio there, Randy.
Well, if you use the sponsor,
That's true. Theater of
that's
the
what
mind.
they have to say now. Like
Yeah.
Thomas J. Henry.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Stand by, everybody. And then, of course, Micah Pelka. You saw I printed you one today.
Yes.
I printed you one.
Thank you.
And it's basically all Trump, so you don't really need to,
Yeah.
but if you want to look at it, you can.
All right. I usually do homework.
Oh, dude, this is the easy one today.
For
We
KLRN.
knew what the show was going to be today. I mean,
Yeah.
it's reaction time. All right, here we go, people. San Antonio's first news, Mr. T, along with Randy Beamer in for Chris Duell. He will be back next week. Charity McCurdy's out. Brian Gann in for her. EJ and Andrew flying the Millennium Falcon. Andrew actually directing the YouTube stream. If you want to check us out, just go to youtube.com and put in search 1200 WOAI, and you can see just how attractive Randy really is.
Yeah. So you can be disappointed right on the WOAI app.
We're going to check in with Micah Pelka from the Pure Apelka podcast, brought to you by Randy Adams Incorporated, coming up at 7:20. And at 7:40, our national correspondent, Rory O'Neill, the latest on the verdict from former President Trump's hush money trial. And coming up right after traffic and weather together, wait till you hear this.
Traffic and weather together now. The weather is right over here. Thunderstorms in the morning. They're going to give away Yes, they're going to give away partly cloudy skies. And there's no prompter here. This is
There's
very
no
hard.
prompter, yes.
High of 92, low of 76. Tomorrow we're going to have a chance of showers or two during the morning. Then again, partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Deja vu. High of 94, low of 77. Entirely different on Sunday. Partly cloudy skies all day, even when my grandson is playing soccer at 2 in the morning. High of 97, low of 78. News Radio, WOAI News Time, 7:10:04. Are not close.
It's 5 now. 10.
7.
Yeah.
That's very hard.
It is a finally Friday edition of San Antonio's First News, a red Friday edition. That's right. We're all wearing red shirts that were delivered to us by one of our listeners. And Crystal has all the information on who the listener was because I just know the last name is Jones. And I don't want to, throw it out, shout out to somebody then be wrong. So when Chris gets back, we'll get all the information. We'll thank him properly. But they're very nice shirts, aren't they?
They are very sharp. You got your names on there.
Yeah.
You have a flag. And then on the back is
World of Awesome Intelligence, WOAI. I love it, man. I love it.
very unusual for me working in news to hear the awesome and intelligence
In the same
in
sentence.
the same paragraph on the same page.
Well, we are here
That's great.
reacting to the verdict yesterday in the Donald Trump hush money trial, the fraud trial in New York City. I was surprised when the verdict came down. First, when the verdict was, they announced they had a verdict. It was so fast. I thought, okay, a couple counts, maybe a full acquittal. And then when it came out guilty on all 34 counts, I was amazed and shocked and just puzzled by it. So yesterday, right after that happened, Donald Trump walks out and addresses the media. So here is today's, wait till you hear this.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
That is former President Donald Trump after he heard the news of the verdict yesterday. And, all the indications are that his team was not surprised by this. They were ready for this.
Well, they were ready for this, but then there's also a report that some in Trump world, or at least the lawyers, were surprised because they had that one jury they called our juror that they expected because of the reading of the body language that he was going to, and it was a he, that he had nodded during the defense arguments and seemed to be the one holdout, or the one most likely for the holdout. So I don't know. I think they were also surprised. Trump came out and he spoke only for 90 seconds.
Which is amazing.
And they had, the judge had come out about 10 seconds or 10 minutes before the verdict and said, well, we're going to send everybody home. And then a bailiff came in, ran across, then we have a verdict. They're going to take 30 minutes to write it down for the jury. And then they came in. And so I think it was surprising at that point, even to the Trump team, that it happened that quick.
That it happened that quick, I could see, because the way I understand it, if it's a quick verdict, it's either, guilty or innocent.
And also the way that the jury had come back and asked those questions.
Yes.
And it seemed to be in order. Like they started with the
Mhm.
basic premise of the trial. If those inferences from the two, what was it, David Pecker,
David
the other,
Pecker and Michael
they
Cohen.
read those back. But then
Mhm.
they also, on the other hand, read back the instructions. To
Yes,
the jury.
which was very puzzling. Very puzzling. I mean, that's just as strange. The instructions themselves were puzzling as well.
Well, there was also, I think, in one of those instructions that how do you deduce evidence?
Yes.
That you can deduce something even if there's no actual proof of this. I think one of the things was, well, if it wasn't raining last night and you wake up and the street is wet,
You can deduce
that's
that
how
it
you can
rained.
deduce
Okay.
that, which is one of those things they say is standard for a judge to say. But if they're listening to that, then they're saying, okay, well, can we deduce this? Yes.
All right. We'll have more on this all morning long. Actually, we're going to check in with Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. He makes his daily visit, brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. WOAI News Time, 7:15.
No, it shows later.
What do you mean by later?
And not shows later, but even though it airs later, because
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It depends on where they're listening. If they're listening in their cars, it's only about a 30-second delay. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, it's about
Yes.
2 minutes.
But really,
Yeah.
but when you're supposed to hit that for like quarter hour things,
Oh, yeah. As long as we're within that, as close as you can get to it, the better you are. But as long as you're in there and can get more than half of that 15 minutes, you're okay.
do they do minute by minute?
No, they do hour by hour. We can tell you, well, kind of minute by minute. Yeah. Now the new technology that
That's
they
what
have.
they do. Nielsen does.
Yeah, they can do that with
TV.
with these meters they have now, which is bizarre.
Well, they can do that on TV with however they do that, and they can tell where they
Where they're
switched
at,
to.
everything, yes, and where they went to, all that, yes. And see, when they came up with these meters, okay, the meter, there is a frequency. All our air signal is coded, right? Well, my idea was back when we had a promotions department and there was actually people there, I said, we should send them all out to every Walmart, Sears, everything where they have a stereo section and have them go in and change every freaking radio to 1200 WOAI. Because all it has to do is be on. It doesn't have to be loud. Just turn it on and then guerrilla marketing. And then I said, we could go to car washes. We could go to like the wash tub and tip the dude to change everybody's radio for us.
Well, in TV, they used to send out, they
The
would
box.
find out,
The box,
no,
yeah.
they would send out news vans in the areas that they thought were being, 'cause
Okay,
they would
okay.
find out, okay, they're putting more of the boxes in this zip code.
Okay, so they would just drive around.
Yeah. Seems,
That's what's guerrilla marketing is what it is. It's
Yeah.
playing the game is what it is.
and this was a joke when I was at Ken's, and especially in the early 80s when you had to write it down.
Yes.
They had
The
only
diary?
The diary. People would call and say, "What are you listening to?" And
Yeah.
if they're a Spanish speaker,
Yeah.
KNS,
Yes.
KNS.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, ENS. And they would write that down.
Oh.
I don't think that was
See,
true,
and,
but
I actually got one of those diaries, and
Really?
I had to report it because we can't
Yeah.
get caught doing that. Yeah. Me and my neighbor, both of us got one.
I got a radio one.
Yeah.
In '83 or something.
See, this was God. This
Did
is
you
when
get $1 for that?
No, I didn't get anything because I sent it back.
But don't they include
Yeah,
a
but I
dollar?
didn't even open it. I didn't want
Oh.
any indication
Yes,
that I had
because
done anything. So
They
I
can
just
flag that.
yeah. Oh hell yes, man. It could have been very bad. Let's put it that way.
Right.
You get
And
caught
that's
doing that.
happened, I think, in a
Bubba
couple
the Love
markets.
Sponge, man, got all kinds of trouble for that.
Who
Right.
did?
Bubba the Love Sponge is a guy in Florida. Here we go. San Antonio's first news. Mr. T, along with Randy Beamer, in for Chris Duell. Charity McCurdy's out. Brian Gann is in for her. Andrew Zimmel and EJ Pacheco flying the Millennium Falcon. Andrew's actually directing the live stream on YouTube. So if you want to check us out, just go to youtube.com, put in search 1200 WOAI, and you can see Randy without his mustache. A lot of people commenting that you don't have your mustache like you did in the 80s on the comments.
And it's a good thing. Although, I'm Carol Oren now, and once a week. And so I think last week after we're on the show. For a week, I didn't shave. And by
Is
that
it gray?
time-
Is it gray now?
Yeah.
Like
No,
this?
no,
Like this?
it's not
Like
gray
this?
at all.
Yeah, like this. Sure it is.
And my
Or-
kids say, shave that.
Coming up next, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. He joins us, brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. But Brian Gann, what stories are you tracking?
For today and the rest of the weekend, thunderstorms today in the morning, mostly north and east of San Antonio. They're going to give way to partly cloudy skies a little later. High of 92 today, low of 76. But tomorrow, the chance of shower in the morning, then partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Tomorrow, high at 94, low of 77. Sunday, it'll be partly cloudy all day, high of 97, low of 78. It is 73 in San Antonio, 62 in Lubbock. And, well, that's all we have right now on hands. News for
WOAI news time is?
WOAI news time is 7:21. Sorry.
It's all right. You hear that music, you know what time it is. It's time for our daily visit with Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. Mike, not a lot to talk about this morning. I mean, just that verdict in that trial against former President Donald Trump. Were you as surprised as I was as how fast they did it and what they got to? Amen.
But for Republicans now, there is a bright side in terms of donations. I understand the website crashed yesterday after this.
Wow. So the sentencing hearing is scheduled for July 11th, right before the RNC. Do you think that'll have any effect on him? You know, let's say they put him on house arrest. He wouldn't be able to go to the RNC? Okay. Yeah.
Now, this is going to go up the ladder in New York courts, and The top New York court just made news because they overturned the Harvey Weinstein conviction. So is it likely to go there? And there was judicial misconduct that was ruled by the top New York court. There seems to be a number of issues that could be brought up for appeal in this. What do you think the likelihood of overturning the appeal is?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty good Mark Levin.
That's right on.
Yeah.
Now, he could probably get a fine and do some community service, maybe. Yeah.
Here's
No. Amen to that. Mike, have a great weekend. That is Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka Podcast. You can catch him each and every weekday morning at this time. Coming up at 7:40, our national correspondent with the latest on the conviction or the verdict in the Donald Trump hush money trial. He joins us at 7:40 WOAI News Time, 726. They're not paying attention. Okay, we're not on the air, right? Hello, hello. Okay, we're good.
You know, they're talking about, well, I want to get some drugs this way. What am I doing? That's what we should do. We should have them.
Oh, well, closed caption, we'll do it for them. It'd be like
Yes.
Mystery Science Theater.
Or unnecessary
I like
censorship.
that.
You, I got asked, there's those girls out there and, you know, on the microphone, they just,
Yeah, exactly.
I like
Oh,
that.
crap. I was
I
supposed
like
to bring
the
up.
idea of closed caption.
I was supposed to bring my. Damn it, I forgot.
Was he not up?
Sorry about that. Yeah, because I didn't have it up in here. They couldn't hear it on the stream. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh,
It was
on the
my fault.
stream.
Yeah, it was my fault.
But on the radio. then.
Yeah, on the radio, he was there.
Now, are we on the stream now?
Yes, we are.
Oh, thanks for the warning.
I told you. See, if you can't hear the overhead speakers, I forgot all about it, man.
I was going to ask if you could post a video
Sure.
of you and Randy here.
Sure. Like right now?
Either now or at 8:30.
Let's do it now. Ready? I'm going to turn these off
I don't
real
know.
quick. All right, we're back. We had to shoot a video with our director, Andrew, who's so demanding. He comes in here snapping his little thing going, hey, guys, I need you to do this now. So that's what we had to do.
With Andrew.
Yeah, with Andrew.
When do you run that?
He's putting it up right now.
Oh.
It'll be
that
on.
video.
It'll be on our socials.
I thought he
No,
meant
no, no, no,
of Andrew.
no. He was shooting a video of us, and then he's going to post it on our socials, and it'll be up in a second here. He's
Now,
pretty
will that
fast.
Be up all day.
It'll be up for forever, Randy. I don't know if you know how the internet works. Once you put it up there, it
So
stays
it doesn't
up forever.
go away like
no,
the
it does
Snapchat.
not go away.
I did not know that.
But if you put something on, I think on the TV's website,
Yes,
it does
goes
go
away.
away.
It-
in 2 years.
It kind of goes away, but you can still find it. Trust me.
Yeah, but
And I'll bring up. Yeah.
So he'll be up off the air as well.
Yeah. No. But when he calls in, if I don't bring him up in here, they will not hear him on the stream. So I'll bring him up in here. It's just
I say
a
they
little
will,
technical thing that I forgot about.
but they'll hear him on the air.
Yeah, on the air, everywhere.
So how long have you been aboard up?
Actually, I was bored up for a long time.
I thought so. No, this is not a board up.
No, this is.
I mean, don't you do everything here?
not really everything.
So is that a
Those
board
guys?
up?
That's what they're doing. They're playing the commercials.
So are you the announcer?
God, I have turned into my grandfather.
What's up, Charlie?
Pretty hard.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Is it?
Told
The
you.
wind blowing.
They haven't
Told
had
you.
the map up on Fox here.
Yeah, I know they're kind of dropping the ball. What's up?
Same old, same old.
What'd you think of the verdict?
Didn't surprise me at all.
Hmm.
Every time there's something like that, well, first of all, nothing surprises me anymore. I go back to 1995. O.J. Simpson got away with murder.
Well, that's
Yeah,
true. He
that's
did.
1994, I remember the pundits, and I just went, oh, yeah. Ann Richards, she's going to beat George W. And since then, I just like.
You don't make any
I
more
don't
predictions.
believe anything. And last night, a lot of them thought it was going to be a hung jury.
I kind of thought it was going to go that way,
I-
but not when the verdict came in that fast. I knew the hung jury was out of the way. I thought, okay, a few of the counts will be convicted on, or it'll be an acquittal when it's that fast. But no,
I
I was
reading
shocked.
the charges, though. I thought it was all or nothing because it was so
No.
technical.
no, because according to
there was
the
a check, like a
Yeah.
check was written, the detail and the ledger was written, the thing was written. So if you got one, you'd get all three of those. And there was that's why it was 34. There were so many.
It's just like, I'm probably blinding myself, but I like to think that our justice system knows how to function.
that's the way it should be.
And I think that's what I'm thinking. I have a hard time buying into the theory that the Democrats and the presidential election thing worked its way into the system and some false accusations were made and 12 people on 34 counts all voted unanimous. I just have difficulty.
Well, the
thinking
conspiracy-
that's rigged.
Conspiracy thing for most things is I don't think people are that smart or coordinated.
Okay.
I mean, because it's like, I guess, in news, everybody at CNN and whatever believe, and they got on the horn in the morning. It's like we're all on a conference call for the media. Although they look at each other and follow, I don't think there's that kind of conspiracy.
I don't think it's possible to do.
I don't know with the instructions that he gave the jury, where he said
Yeah,
you don't have to.
The
You don't have
instructions,
to.
they
Yeah,
said.
the instructions were, if not everybody thinks that he's guilty on this count, as long as somebody does, then he's guilty. That to me,
Well, it's,
No, I don't
they
think
don't think
that's how it
it was
happened.
part of, if he was guilty he was guilty of something on each count.
on each count, something, not
But there was a-
necessarily
but there-
the whole
it
thing,
could have been
then
a-
he's guilty.
There were different reasons.
But they
that
did
he
not
couldn't
have to be
stop.
unanimous on each count. They did not have to be
Well, yeah,
unanimous.
I think they did.
No, they
Unlawful
didn't.
conduct by one of three reasons. And if they figured unlawful conduct on one of them, which is probably, I think, more likely, then they were going to go like that. That he either violated by violating New York's election law or violating tax law in New York, or there was some other technical tax filing. He filed his taxes wrong because of that. Those are the three reasons that played into, well, if he did one of those, then, and he did it because of the Stormy Daniel or the election, then the first, the defrauding, if the reason that he did that was to violate
hide it.
election law,
To hide it, to
all
hide the
those
money.
three had to be, to hook it in. And so if you hooked in two of them, then you could find just one on the other. So I don't know. But see, that's the thing. I don't think everybody wrapped their head around the whole thing. It's just more complicated. And it's hard to explain that on TV. And so I think that's why a lot of people are.
Well, I wasn't in
surprised.
the courtroom, so I don't know what
That's
was
true.
said.
Holy
But if
crap.
you're in a courtroom, it's like election.
So I'm wrong in my
No,
thought process. I done 34 counts, 12 jurors on each count. That's 408 votes. I'm wrong when I say none of them ever voted not guilty.
Yeah, you are wrong.
well,
No,
they
'cause
could
we-
have, and then they could have
I mean, it
tried.
could have been like 12 angry men,
Yeah, could have
but
convinced.
eventually they all came around.
Yeah.
So 408 times guilty? Because I thought it had to be unanimous.
See?
Well, see those.
That's what you think,
But
but
I think they may have had just one vote on each, but they had to come to the conclusion on each of the three parts of.
well, here's what I got from Joe Pags this morning. San Antonio's First News, Mr. T, along with Randy Beamer in for Chris Duell, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. And right now, our national correspondent Rory O'Neill joins us. So, Rory, explain this to me. I heard that the judge's instruction said that these jurors did not have to come up with a unanimous vote on each count. Am I right on that?
Not quite.
Okay.
They didn't have to have unanimous understanding of what the underlying crime was. They were pretty vague about that. Now, they all had to agree if he was guilty of falsifying business records. They all had to agree on each of those 34 counts. But whether it was falsifying business records to avoid paying taxes, to have a campaign contribution, the reasons for falsifying those business records didn't really matter. They didn't have to agree on that, but they did have to agree to the final crime. There.
Okay.
And we won't know until or if a juror comes out and says what happened behind closed doors. Do you think that's likely to happen, just personally?
Yeah, I think those producers at Dateline and 2020 and 60 Minutes are all sending flowers to 12 different houses and camped out outside. Well, right. Oh, I'd love to see your baby pictures. And how much do you want for those? Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on right now. But I would suspect we'll be hearing from the jurors relatively soon.
If you were a juror, just hypothetical here, just looking at all sides of the story. If you were a juror and you got the flowers at your house today, would you talk to, with the vitriol that goes on in this country these days, would you talk to anybody? Because I wouldn't.
Yeah, certainly not showing my face. I'm one of those distorted voices behind a wall, backlit and
I like that.
of my face. Yeah, with glasses and a handkerchief around my head. But yeah, I'm not showing my face in this. No way.
But you can still write a book and be by anonymous, like one of the writers did, one of the reporters did a few years ago, and stayed anonymous for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible. And, I think it'll be curious to see just how quickly this jury reached these conclusions. I've talked to juries in other trials. They said, look, we walked in and closed the door, said, hey, what does everybody think? And we were all ready to convict, but we just hung out for a few hours to make it look. Let's see what was really happening back there. Also interesting to see what testimony they wanted read back. Yep. Pretty clear they were stuck on that idea of the underlying crime. They wanted more about that Trump Tower meeting in 2015 with the publisher of the Inquirer, Cohen and Trump all together. It seems that whole catch and kill scenario was a big factor in reaching these verdicts.
And I know that the appeal is already getting started. I'm sure Trump's team is already on it right now. And I know he's got sentencing on July 11th. And as soon as that happens, the appeal will go in. That's when they'll officially start their appeal, right?
Correct. 7-11, easy way to remember when the sentencing is. Funny for a casino guy to have 7-11 come up. It's also 4 days before the convention. Some differing political views is, would a sentence where it's a suspended sentence or a fine, then it can go into the convention a couple days later and said, see, they're out to get me. I'm a victim of this political prosecution. Some say that the sentencing 4 days before could actually fuel and throw fuel on the fire of the political convention there in Milwaukee.
Does this affect his timing of announcing his vice presidential pairing?
Yeah, he may want to step back and be a little bit more, soak it all in. We saw that the website crashed after all the people trying to make political contributions. Maybe this helps him in the polls. I think I wouldn't want to change the headline right now. I'd try to ride this out as best I could. We'll see how President Biden handles it. I'm guessing, he'll step in it, and then the White House press office will try to clean it up a couple of days later. But it'll be interesting to see how both the White House and the Biden campaign in particular also try to navigate these uncharted waters.
Appreciate it as always. Our national correspondent Rory O'Neill coming up. Charlie Parker's here. We're going to talk to Charlie, get his thoughts on this. WOAI News Time 7:45. All right, we're back.
Well, I'll have to. Now we're back on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring in the camera as I was planning to on a
non-Trump
day because I was going to get.
Yeah, we had a conference call last night with Terry, by the way, at 6 o'clock. Yeah, and that's why he told me to text you and tell you didn't need to come in because we're doing all Trump all day.
Well, I can do Trump.
Well, that's no 750. Yeah, 810, 810, 810, 810. No, 810. You want to pull some? I'll let you play him. Oh no, I gotta play him. I don't care.
Wow. You know, I want to tell the people out there that they have fist fights here.
Oh, all the
during
time.
the off
My
time.
God.
I want to tell the people that, but they don't. You guys get along much better than some people on TV. I want to tell you that. No, I shouldn't tell you that. But see, I guess back in the day, things were a little wilder
A little bit.
in newsrooms.
I'm sure they were. Well, we used to have a newsroom. Remember that?
Yeah.
We had a newsroom at one time. They actually had reporters in there. We had an overnight
got
guy.
a news desk, right?
Yeah, we
out
got one
there,
guy now. Yeah, that's it.
Well, and also on TV, nobody comes in anymore. A lot of people don't come in.
They work
especially
from
in
home.
print. They work from home.
They work from home.
The Express News now, they have desks that you reserve. It's kind of like a USAA for a
Oh,
while.
okay.
It's, what do they call it? Hoteling, where you come in.
And then do
but
work.
so you don't have your own desk. You don't have your stuff up on it.
You just rent a desk for the
Which
day.
That's weird.
It is bizarre.
I don't know.
Well, we never stopped
like-
coming in during the pandemic. We were one of the few people that actually
Yes,
out of everybody that was here, it was us and the security guard. That was it.
that was me. Well, although they had a lot of people not coming in, and you didn't have to, but I had to come
No.
in. I couldn't do Zoom. And
Well,
it's,
we didn't
it's a
have
whole
we didn't
different
have it set up
feeling.
like that, so we had no choice.
And it's a whole different feeling. Well, that's true. But wait, you didn't have?
No, not then. Nope.
Seems like it would be easier on the radio.
It would have been, but they didn't think that far ahead.
Wow.
Seriously.
You did
When it
not
happened,
say
when it
that.
happened, you know, it kind of snuck up
Yeah,
on
but some of
everybody.
you guys, like Pags has.
Well, Pags has his, but he bought his.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Because some of the weather people, I think Bill Dante had, and I don't.
Well, I
didn't
have
think
one
he
now.
bought it.
They sent us all one now. We
Oh,
all have
okay.
them now at home, but I have a great studio with no place, no way to broadcast. But I got to get that fixed next week
Why is that?
because Sherry said to.
So it's not fixed, or you just
I
never
mean,
set it
I
up?
don't have the software
Oh, the
to
software.
broadcast. Yeah, so all I have to do is call up our engineer, get him to get up,
Couldn't
get
you
in.
do like Zoom? We were
That
doing Teams.
we talked
all
about
the time.
that, but I don't think it would sound as good. And there's
That's
a program we have that will allow it to sound more like a phone line kind of, you know, like a ISDN almost.
I hate the Zoom that I still see. I think a lot of TV now it's I don't
All
wanna say
Zoom.
lazy, but you don't have to send a camera out to get the guy. So sometimes there was a city spokesman, and I won't say his name, the other day who was on, who had just come out of the pool.
Oh,
I was
God.
in the pool. So and they don't have he didn't have the ring light.
Oh,
on
so
that.
he-
They
so-
didn't show that he wasn't in the pool that way, but his hair was all kind of messed up.
Wow.
I'm not a big Zoom fan.
I'm not a fan of
Oh,
any
I
of that.
agree.
I'm not a fan of any of that, to be honest with you.
And even on the even on the call-ins, like on Friday,
Yeah.
call in, I don't feel like I can
It's hard. It's
because I
different.
want to see you going.
Let's go. Shut up, Randy.
"Well,
Come on. Come on,
exactly,
Randy.
That's not interesting at all. And if you
Jeez,
go
I can't
long-
believe that he brought that up.
exactly if you go long, or you see Andrew in the booth falling asleep with EJ.
Yeah.
It's not the same. But you guys don't do that here except with the news.
Yeah.
Although if you're on by yourself, Andrew's in here.
Sometimes
But
he's in there.
Andrew. or
See, because
you
like EJ
and
didn't come
Sherry-
in until 6 o'clock yesterday and today. So Andrew was in there in the 5 o'clock hour. And then I had that thing I did with Pags this morning. I played that at 5:40. So like 3 segments to fill.
How about with you over the years? You've done your own show sometimes, right? Just yours? Did you have somebody across? You just had somebody across.
I had Tim to a degree, but not like it. It morphed over the years
Yeah.
to more involved.
They didn't talk much, right?
No.
We didn't need to.
No.
We didn't need to. We were just there for him to bounce off ideas and have some a sounding board, sort of, so to speak. And I would, would talk to him in his ear and give him stuff sometimes. Remember? Just ahead of headlines, traffic and weather together, and then we'll check in with Charlie Parker, get his thoughts on the verdict from yesterday. But right now, Brian Gann in for Sheridan McCurdy. What are you doing?
Weather Channel forecast today for the weekend as well. Thunderstorms this morning. You may enjoy them right now. They're going to give way to partly cloudy skies, though, this afternoon. High of 92, low of 76. Similar tomorrow. Chance of a shower or two during the morning. Then you'll have partly cloudy skies in the afternoon with a high of 94, low of 77. Finishing off the weekend Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high of 97, low of 78. It is 73 here in Stone Oak. And News Radio WOAI time, 7:52.
Sing it, Sly.
Well, you just heard Charlie Parker, so you know he's here. Randy Beamer in for Chris Duell. I'm Mr. T, and it is a playlist Friday. We do this every Friday. We have everybody, everybody on the show has given us their playlist. So we decided, since Mother Nature has been in the news last couple of weeks, that we would have Mother Nature's playlist, and so far so good.
Yes, although I don't know, what does it mean? Is she sending us a message?
No, she's just letting some stress out, just kind of sharing with us, what she likes to listen to.
Are you, Charlie, influenced by playlists? Do you listen and go, hey, I want to add that more?
Well, I've got Martin Vandella's Heat Wave stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Earworms.
Shows how catchy that tune is.
He is the king of
Heard it
playlists.
45 minutes
by the
ago,
way.
and it's still in my head.
Stormy weather. Did you get that after the Stormy Daniels testimony? No?
Dinah Washington? Stormy weather?
I like that version.
Ella
What's up,
Fitzgerald's covered. Well, a whole bunch of people have
pretty much
versions.
everybody's
It's a
done
great,
that.
Great song.
All right, so Charlie, everybody wants to know your thoughts. The verdict yesterday. Were you surprised how fast they got to it?
No.
No.
Nothing surprises me in the United States of America. No,
Well,
I'm
there is that. There
serious.
is that. Yes.
I hearken back to 1995 when O.J. Simpson got away with murder.
Yeah.
When DNA evidence said that the chances of it being anybody other than him were bigger numbers than the amount of people on the planet, and he still got the prosecution
dropped the
screwed
ball
up a
big
lot of
time.
stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of thing. No, it doesn't surprise me at all. All the talk from the so-called pundits, and I think that's one of the problems with these types of situations. As a public, we think we know it all, and what we are willing to admit that we don't know, we're willing to believe whoever it is that tends to voice their opinion based on what my opinion might be. You know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
You listen to people you like.
Yeah, if you went into this thinking, oh, it's a witch hunt and they're gonna, it's all the Democrats, all for political reasons, blah, 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 then you're going to be really, really disgusted with the work. If you go into it thinking this is the American justice system, this is what we've got, this is what we're working with, I wasn't in the courtroom, so I don't know what was said. That's the difference between this and
the
OJ trial. We saw it all.
Yeah, we
from-
got to be in there.
yeah,
Yes.
start to finish. But as Brian Gann mentioned a moment ago, you've got your Lindsey Grahams and Ted Cruz's and others blasting the verdict. Look, you either believe in the American justice system or you don't. And if you don't believe in the justice system, then anything anybody has to say, I think, is immaterial, doesn't matter. I believe in the justice system. I wasn't in the courtroom. I don't know what was, as far as the judge's jury instruction, I don't know, wasn't there. I'm just looking, I'll just give you one example and I'll look at some numbers. 34 counts, 12 jurors. And I know in some instances, in some of those 34 counts, they didn't have to be unanimous.
Which is bizarre, but yes.
If it's so bizarre and whatever, why didn't somebody stop it before?
Well, that was the instructions from the judge, so you can't take on the judge.
Well, sure you can. Sure
On
you
appeal,
can.
especially.
On appeal,
Trump did
you
it
can.
every
On
day
appeal, you
before and
can.
after the, after the.
Yeah, but until you get to appeal, you really can't do anything about it.
Okay. He will appeal.
Oh, God, yes.
That doesn't mean that the appeal. If you're among those who think, follow me closely here, if I can follow myself, if you believe that this was a witch hunt, political reasons, designed by Democrats and Biden and his people to keep Trump out of the White House, If you believe that that was what this was all about, what makes you think that an appeal would get granted?
That's
So
interesting.
you don't think an appeal?
Huh?
It's gonna. You don't think an appeal is gonna succeed?
I don't think. No, I don't.
Wow.
I mean, he ain't going to jail.
No, he's not going to jail. We'll talk about that coming up
Okay.
in the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up at 8:10, we're going to hear from the people. We got some talkbacks on this. WOAI News Time 7:57.
He is basically.
San Antonio's first news on this finally Friday edition, a Red Friday edition, a playlist Friday edition. We are playing Mother Nature's playlist all morning long. Coming up at 8:40, Joe Pags tells us what's coming up on the show this afternoon. And coming up next, we'll hear from you on our Talkback feature available on the free iHeartRadio app. But first, traffic and weather together.
Your forecast for today, thunderstorms this morning are actually lowering the temperature, but partly cloudy skies late this afternoon. The high of 92, the low is supposed to be 76, but right now it is 68. Tomorrow, a chance of a shower or two in the morning, followed by partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 94, low of 77. Kind of the same on Sunday, partly cloudy skies, high of 97. Low of 78. Again, it is 68 degrees here in Stone Oak on News Radio 1200 WOAI at 8:10 a.m.
Oh, Mother Nature's playlist. And I know Charlie Parker loves that song.
I love me some Gary Allen.
And that song, too.
Oh, I love me some Gary Allen.
That's true. Anything Gary Allen does.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Definitely. Look, and Mother Nature has a great playlist. I mean, we've been playing Mother Nature's playlist all morning long, things to do with nature, you know.
But it's not nice to play Mother Nature.
No, it's not nice to fool with Mother Nature.
Remember.
We're actually doing nice things with Mother Nature because we want to get on her good side. We got some rain out of it, so it's working.
But do you think she goes through Google and looks up, rain?
She's Mother Nature. She doesn't have to look up anything. She knows where it's
They
at.
should be in her head.
Yeah, she knows it. She knows all the songs written about her. Come on, Randy.
Oh.
All right, so we've been asking you all morning long after Donald Trump found guilty on 34 counts, all 34 counts, what were your thoughts were? We're going to go to the people right now. Andrew, hit the first one. Well, you think about it. If it's a regular person and you get probation, you do have to go to your probation officer, or they sometimes, depending on what the charge is, come to your house.
He does have to have that for pre-sentencing. He has to go to the probation
He
office,
does, right?
And they interview him about one thing, or one of the things, job prospects.
Well, as for right.
Job prospects.
Are you looking
Gee, I
for
don't
a
know.
job?
Yeah, well, kind of.
Are you looking? I was looking for one until they told me that I could. Yeah,
or my prospects are.
Well, I have a niece who's a probation officer.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the probation officer via Zoom and that kind
now
of
you
thing
can?
these days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he could do that. He could
Yeah.
do that. All right. What's the next one? Wow. Wow.
I just have difficulty wrapping my head around the fact that it was rigged from the beginning. I try.
It's hard.
It is difficult for me. It's the justice system. How did never mind.
All right, let's go. We got time for one more. Here we go. Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Can you say
Shenanigans.
that?
I like the word
I
shenanigans.
didn't realize it's written on the wall someplace here that you
Yeah.
can't swear on the air
Yeah, but it's written in the bathroom on one of the stalls. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
in colorful language.
In colorful language that you can't do that on the radio. Yeah, they frown on that, Randy. I don't know if you know that.
I did not.
We're not like TV where you can just say anything you want depending on what time of day it is. We
Feel
had-
free to tell me it's none of my business.
Mhm.
Do either of you believe that this was rigged? Shenanigans?
None of your business.
Okay. All right.
For me, but I think Mr. T.
I think there was something that wasn't right being done. Yes, I do.
What do you base that on?
Just what I've read and what I've seen. I'm not
See, that's another reason I have difficulty
not a
with it. I
lawyer.
don't believe anything I read, and I don't believe anything that I see. That's why the books that I read are fiction.
How about what you hear on the radio on News Radio
gosh, no.
1200 WAI in the morning?
I will take that, and and I would suggest to other people to do the same thing. Do your own research. I've researched this inside and out from the get-go, and I just cannot wrap my head around the fact that
shenanigans.
somebody can rig a trial. I mean, I know the mob can get to a juror here or there, that kind of thing, but I mean, I just don't.
How about if they, you don't
difficult
believe
for me.
in picking a jury that is more likely to convict or
Well,
acquit? Like
I've
OJ?
read enough John Grisham books and seen enough Law and Orders. No, seriously.
I know.
To know what voir dire is.
Yes.
And both sides, the defense and the prosecution, have enough challenges and dismissals, this and that it's an even playing field.
I do know that every trial that I covered, and you ask a lawyer on either side, and they off the record, I don't know. The jury can do anything.
Well, that's the thing. The jury can do anything. And obviously it happens a lot. It happens a lot. All right, we'll get into this coming up. We'll find out. We'll talk about whether he'll do jail time or not. I don't think he will, but we'll get into that coming up. WOAI News Time 8:16. Just ahead of headlines, traffic and weather together. No, Randy, that is the Charlie cam right behind us.
Oh, I was going to switch
they-
the camera on me over to Charlie.
No, they actually put that camera in just for Charlie. It's called the Charlie
but that's
cam.
at a distance. I want a close up. Charlie. I would have brought a camera in today just to do.
Well, you said you were going to, and then you
I was
didn't.
going to, but then there was this, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
didn't
wanted to
feel-
come in on a fun day and bring a camera.
Yeah, this is a big news day.
So next time, you bring
Another
a camera. Okay. All right, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you tracking?
And your forecast this morning, we will have partly cloudy skies late this afternoon after these thunderstorms that have lowered the temperature now to 68 in San Antonio. We will get a high of 92. Tomorrow, another chance of shower or two in the morning, then partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. Tomorrow, a high of 94, low of 77. Sunday, kind of the same, partly cloudy skies, high of 97, low of 78. It is 68 degrees here in San Antonio at 8:22 on News Radio 1200. WOAI.
Oh, on a playlist Friday, Mother Nature's playlist. She apparently likes some Jimi Hendrix.
Well, I was just going to say, not only could he play a great guitar, he had a very unique
Delivery.
voice.
And a
He had
delivery was very good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very inspiring for people to dance to in a studio, apparently.
You saw that, huh?
Yes, I did see that. And if you're watching on the YouTube channel on WOAI, you could see Mr. T just,
Hey, look, I like me some Jimi Hendrix, man.
Busting a rug.
Busting a rug.
Charlie, I didn't see
No,
you dance.
If you want to see Charlie dance, you got to throw on Rubber Band Man. He starts doing that, it'll empty the whole room. I'm telling you right
That's
now.
right.
Okay, play it. I want to see that.
It's hard to sit still on Rubber Band
It
Man.
is hard to sit still, but I've seen Charlie do the dance to Rubber Band Man, and it's something to see. Definitely.
I have
Yeah,
more
we've been out
questions.
before, and I've seen Charlie dance. It's happened.
I've got to get that on tape.
No, cameras never allowed for that. All right, so Donald Trump found guilty on all 34 counts that he was charged with in that trial in New York City. And a lot of speculation, so we're going to speculate a little bit here. I don't think Donald Trump will do jail time. I don't think he'll get a house arrest. If anything, he'll get a fine and probation, and then they'll appeal that, and it'll go on forever, and about years before they'll actually come up with a decision. So, Charlie, your thoughts?
I think if he appeals, and maybe they'll decide not to. But if he appeals, it doesn't mean that he's going to be granted another trial.
No.
Here's the thing for me. Well, there's a lot of things here for me. Just contemplate this for a moment. 34 counts. Forget whether they have to be, based on the instructions from the judge, whether they need to be, all 12 have to say guilty or not guilty, or just some, and then, a majority of, forget all of that. 34 counts. And not a single one was anything other than guilty. The odds of that. Now, for some individuals listening right now that's saying, well, see, doesn't that just prove that it was rigged? I don't think it proves anything. I just think it's an interesting number.
Well, now those 34 counts, Again, some are going to say, well, it was for half that or less than that because
Yeah.
there was a account for writing a check. There was account for the ledger entry.
Right. Yeah.
There was account for something else on that same instance.
Right.
So, and those instances, if you believe, that he's guilty on one, you kind of have to assume that he is guilty on the other if you believe, say, Michael Cohen and David Pecker.
Which evidently that's what the jury did.
And you weren't surprised that they believed everything. Maybe they didn't believe everything Michael Cohen
So they
said.
believed
See,
enough, apparently.
I try not to do that because I wasn't there. And I'm going to believe who? I'm going to believe Anderson Cooper, or I'm going to believe, Shannon Bream, or I'm going to believe, Lester Holt. Who am I going to believe?
You have just killed your chances of having your own network or cable TV show at night.
I wouldn't want one in today's world. But you go into depending on, don't you think that most people they have the place that they go for their news? Okay.
Yes.
Let's say the place that you go for your news is CNN.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most of us who know we know what you're going to get from them.
Yes, exactly.
They're going to go left. People that go get their news from Fox go there for a reason,
Yes.
because they know that what's going to be delivered to them is where they think. That's why I stay away from all those people. Because
That's
they've
why
all
you're
got to
wise Uncle Charlie.
That's why
remember the
he was wise,
days
Uncle
when
Charlie.
Fox used to use the moniker
Fair and balanced. Yes.
They still do, don't they?
No, they've
Oh,
changed.
No, that went away.
What I used to say to that was, well, you're a little more fair and balanced than the rest of them, but you're not fair. You've got an agenda as well. They all have an agenda.
All right, more with Charlie Parker and Randy Beamer coming up. We'll also hear from Joe Pags, find out what's on the show this afternoon. And it is Friday, which means a weekend earworm, a very special one in honor of the passing of Bill Walton. I wonder what that could be. Stick around. We'll do that right before your Sean Hannity Morning Minute coming up before Glenn Beck at 9 o'clock. WOAI News Time, 827.
The afternoon.
Charlie Parker. Cruise.
Oh, it is a playlist Friday here on San Antonio's First News, and what a great playlist from Mother Nature. She is so happy she decided to drop a little rain on us. See, it works.
And then it's going to be a little sunny later on.
A little
Partly
bit sunny later on. All right, Joe Pags from the Joe Pags Show, 5 to 8 this afternoon. Joe, what do you got coming up?
You know, it was quite a day. We had Laura Trump on, who, of course, is the daughter-in-law of President Trump. Unfortunately, we had her before the verdict came out, but we did some predicting about what happens with the verdict. And she says, as the co-chair of the RNC, it doesn't change an awful lot. We also had yesterday Mike Davis immediately. He was live in the program to break down these ridiculous charges that former President Trump was found guilty on. And as we've talked about before, and as I talked about on the show, absolutely, we had people are now saying he's a convicted felon. That's all they wanted to do. On the show today, it's going to be Rudy Giuliani, very close with Donald Trump for a long time. Those listening probably don't realize this. Rudy is 80. He turned 80 2 days ago, which is crazy to me that America's mayor is 80. He's going to break down. He used to be a prosecutor in Manhattan. He's going to talk about what Alvin Bragg did and didn't do in this case. And we also have a young woman from the Trump campaign to opine about what happens now. Going to be a big show today at 5 o'clock, Tim.
Thanks, Joe. 5 o'clock this afternoon. You can catch a Joe Pags Show each and every weekday. So what did he borrow from you at one time?
Rudy Giuliani did a talkback for MSNBC and Channel 4. He borrowed some makeup from me at one time. That's my big claim to fame.
That's a pretty good one.
This was years and
That's a
years
pretty
ago.
good
And then
one.
I interviewed him even before that when he was lawyering in Houston. And he had 2 security guys come in when he was working on his own. But he's a nice guy.
He was a great mayor in New York.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then things changed.
Yeah, 9/11. He was a savior of 9/11. I mean, remember he would come out every day to Ground Zero. It was great.
Let me ask a question that is kind of rhetorical and kind of not. If, just hypothetical, if Joe Biden had been charged with the exact same things that Donald Trump was, would everyone, like we're hearing most places, would it have been these ridiculous charges? These are no.
Well, depending
It's a
on where you are.
resounding no.
Pass.
Yeah, I understand.
Just pass.
Come on, be committal.
A lot of guys have trouble committing. I may not have in the past, but I'll pass.
It depends. I mean,
I guess it depends on what side of the aisle you're on.
Well, of course it does.
It's everything now. Depends on what side of the aisle you're on.
Oh, absolutely. And please stop with the emails and stuff that you're sending me. You Trump hater. No, I'm just giving you my opinion on all sides of the story. And with your emails, you're not going to tell me something that my best friends
haven't
already told me.
Exactly. That is Charlie Parker. He's Randy Beamer. I'm Mr. T. Chris Jewell should be back next week. Charity could be back next week. But coming up, it is a Friday, means your weekend earworm, and a very special one in honor of the passing of Bill Walton, the great Bill Walton. I wonder what it could be. Stick around to find out. WOAI News Time, 846. Coming up, your weekend earworm in honor of the passing of the late, great Bill Walton. I wonder what it could be. It's coming right up. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you following?
Traffic is over. So weather for the weekend, we have given away those thunderstorms to the southeast of us. And it's going to be partly cloudy to sunny later on, a high of 92. Tomorrow, chance of shower in the morning like today, followed by partly cloudy skies. In the afternoon, it'll be a high of 94 on Saturday, low of 77. Then Sunday, high of 97, low of 78 with partly cloudy skies, 68 in Stone Oak right now. And News Radio 1200 WOAI's news time, 8:52.
Well, each and every Friday, we give you a weekend earworm, something to get in your head to take out all those bad songs that are stuck in there. Bill Walton passed away this past week, so it had to be a Grateful Dead song. Here it is, your weekend earworm. Everybody have a great weekend.